The following is a presentation of Moonlight Media Works. It's another edition of the Janus Show, a Moonlight Media Works production. We are back from the World Baseball Classic in Houston, Texas. Got to take part in 5 games over the weekend in Houston. Was not there for Monday's Mexico-United States matchup. What a game. What an environment. The WBC, for all its detractors, for all its haters, for all those skeptics that still think it's just a silly exhibition, I'm here to tell you now, you could not be more wrong. Because watching those games across the weekend was such a joy. It was baseball nirvana in a lot of ways. Now, I've never been to a Major League Baseball postseason game, which is on my bucket list. To go to like a Red Sox postseason game would be on my bucket list. But to get to see really the best players in the world, you know, and obviously we only got Group B's or Pool B's group, but that's Mexico, that's Italy, that's the United States, that's Brazil, and you know, also Great Britain. I mean, it's a great group. You know, and those were there were some competitive games. There were a lot of blowout games, but that was beside the point. The games actually, the results on the field, aside from the fact the United States almost fumbled their way out of pool play altogether by not realizing that they had to win. And I actually do really like Mark DeRosa, but the manager of the United States club coming out on hot stove and basically being like, yeah, we want to win, but we don't have to. No, my guy, you had to win against Italy to control your fate. Then you needed Italy's help. And as a quarter Italian, with a lot of Italian ancestry in my family, thank you. Thank you so much to the Italian Americans that helped us get into, continue into tournament play, because the United States needed some help last night, and Italy did the job. Because Mexico's a tough out. We saw them play on Monday. I saw Mexico play basically 2 or 3 times during that weekend, I believe. I mean, they were a really good team. Jaron Duran got hot at the end of that. Randy Arozarena was on that team. They had good pitching performances. Italy obviously was the surprise. They were so good. And again, a lot of their roster, American-born, and, you know, you wonder where the connection to the Italian is on some of these guys, but they have a really good squad. And they beat the United States in probably the most shocking upset in the history of the World Baseball Classic. But that's how good they are with Jack Caglione, excuse me. You had Vinny Pasquantino, who hits 3 home runs last night to move past Mexico. You had Kyle Teal on that roster. I mean, Francisco Cervelli's the manager. I mean, it's a great group they had, and they deserve to be where they are. The United States, though, it was so much fun to watch, getting to see guys like Bryce Harper in person, who I've never seen before. Aaron Judge, even though I'm a Red Sox fan, to see him hit that home run in Game 1, that was impressive. Get to see Alex Bregman in action. I saw him play last year with the Red Sox. But seeing Roman Anthony hit those home runs the other night was just awesome. It was so much fun to watch. Who knew the Red Sox were the best nation in the world? Apparently, the Red Sox in this WBC have been on fire. You go from Mexico, you can go to Team USA's representation with Whitlock and Roman Anthony. You can look at Venezuela, where Willer Abreu still playing. A Willer Abreu card on my desk up here. So, I mean, it was a lot of fun to watch. But I want to give some credit to the city of Houston. Houston's an interesting place. I went with a couple buddies over the weekend. Some of the videos you guys have probably seen on TikTok. By the way, before I get too deep into this, TikTok's a real... I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was that just started playing. I had stayed, like I said, I think I talked about it. I stayed away from TikTok for many years. Finally got on and, you know, started posting content for the sake of this show and just my life. I now have one video with over 389,000 views and over 58,000 likes. I mean, apparently you can just go viral from this app. It's very easy, because all I did was post the clip that I had from the game. It was Mexico, and I believe it was Great Britain. where Mexico won pretty easily there. I mean, they absolutely destroyed Great Britain. Or was it Brazil? No, it was Mexico, Brazil. Mexico, Brazil. My apologies. Yeah, Mexico, Brazil, and they smoked them. The game against Mexico and Great Britain was the first one we actually watched, but this one was from that, and it's the Ballpark Bugler, who I came to be introduced to from that weekend series. He added a layer of environment to it, and I have to credit where credit is due. The Mexican crowds there to support their team were incredible. They brought the energy all weekend long. They brought mariachi bands. They had noisemakers. You had the Ballpark Bugler guy playing all the themes for everybody, and that video went absolutely ham crazy. So first time I've ever gone viral on anything, and it's for somebody else's performance. So credit to Ballpark Bugler. He's great. Got to talk to him through that, and I was like, yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch him. But those crowds are crazy. And credit where it also is due, Daikin Park, formerly Minute Maid Park, I will always refer to it as Minute Maid Park, is a phenomenal facility. It's a great ballpark. I mean, we walked probably the entirety of that ballpark that us normal people, us common Joe, can walk around to. And it's phenomenal. You go from the Crawford boxes out and left to up behind home plate. The concourse areas are very nice. They had a lot of food, a lot of international food options. They had some really decent deals. They had some really nice stadium stuff. By the way, look at this Astros cup. This is a beer cup. This is like that's like the sturdiest beer cup I've ever received. This is a washable cup. And I kept it because, I mean, I love the Tequila Sunrise Astros look. It's so good. It was a lot of fun to wander around and explore a new ballpark. It was one that had been on my bucket list for a long time to go to, and to see it all really decked out for this World Baseball Classic was a lot of fun. And you were watching the other games, the other pools at the bars and other stuff during the weekend. It was great. And, you know, there was a couple tit-for-tat moments. The whole Randy Arozarena versus Cal Raleigh thing, I think, got way overblown. I think Cal Raleigh's like, look, man, we're in a tournament. We're not teammates right now. I think Randy probably took it a little more personally, which I can't fault him for being a little annoyed about. But at the same time, it's like, look, you're not teammates right now. He's Team USA. You're Team Mexico. You're playing for something. And Charlie heard something. She's not playing for anything right now. She's just a good team player. I understand, though, the idea that you could be a little perturbed by that, but at the same time, they'll be fine. I think they will. I think in the reality they will. I think it's easy for people like me to go, oh my God, with the big face like graphic on YouTube. Oh my God, are the Mariners blowing up? Randy Arozarena and Cal Raleigh not friends? One of those like screen grabs, one of those nice pictures you can put up to tease a video. Yeah, I hate those. I hate those with all my heart. If you're one of the video guys that, you know, does the exaggerated looks to tease a video, go take a long walk off a short pier. Seriously, I can't stand it. But aside from that, everybody was cool. All the fans were cool to each other overall. I didn't see any real hostilities. Now, I know there was probably some during the United States-Mexico game. I wasn't there for it. If it was true and it happened, and I think there were some instances, that is what it is. But, you know, interacting with all these different fan bases was a lot of fun, and they were really cool. I mean, we hung out with a lot of the Team Mexico fans at the bar, having a good time, wearing, you know, loving getting to see all these players. That's the true charm of this. And one thing people just can't understand is seeing these players, A, play together, but B, play for a common goal, which is, hey, we're playing for America, we're playing for Great Britain, we're playing for Italy, we're playing for the Dominican Republic. Those are really cool things, and you see guys bring an intensity level to it. And the other pools, I mean, you're seeing guys like doing almost cartwheels around the bases when they hit a home run. And look, I'm probably more of a stickler, and I've been a little bit more in the past herder, old traditional baseball, but I don't care about emotion. Emotion's emotion. I feel however you choose to react or retaliate to it is also part of the game as well. If you don't like somebody doing it, fine. You can brush them back if you want to. But they'll do it again if they get a chance. So that's part of it as well. I think a lot of that's very tick for tack, but some people disagree. Some people say you should never hit somebody or never do something because you don't like the way they acted. That's whatever. I choose to believe that that's a part of the game, and you got to grow up. If you don't like somebody, if you don't like somebody celebrating on you, fine. And if they want to brush you back, that's also fine. I think all's fair in love and war in baseball, as far as that's concerned. But it was a great environment. Do have to credit something, and I'm going to post some pictures throughout this video here of my journey through Houston. Some of the bar scenes in Houston is kind of odd, I have to say. Some phenomenal facilities. I mean, Truck Yard over in Houston was really a really cool facility. We spent, I think, was Friday night there. That was really cool. There was the Co Wetzel Bar in Houston as well that we went into. There was a lot of neat things to look around and see in there, and it was a newer facility, so that was cool. But overall, the bar scene, while the rodeo was going on, so you had the World Baseball Classic and you had the rodeo, which is a huge deal down there as well. But the environments for like the post-game bar scenes weren't great. Now, around the ballpark, we found one bar that we absolutely loved, and that's where we all congregated for like the baseball stuff. It's just around the corner from the ballpark. It's 1820 is the bar that's down the street from the ballpark there. That's a great facility. They had a lot of great... Oh, I just remembered something. Hold on, everybody. Wait 1 second. I forgot another prop. You can tell I don't have any of this sponsored. Again, I got no money. So to anybody flagging these videos thinking there's promotion in this, there isn't. This is just stuff I brought home. Look at this. This is the Crawford Bock. I'm sure it's getting kind of blown out here by the lighting. But this can of beer, I had to bring it home. First of all, love the Tequila Sunrise. They had a lot of that stuff there. But Crawford Bock is an awesome beer. Had it down there. It's, I guess, the official like in-house beer of the Houston Astros. And I'm a big Shiner Bock guy, so in Texas, that's awesome. You can get it everywhere down there. Also got myself a little ice cream helmet, you know? They had like a cannoli ice cream thing. I wanted that. I didn't get that. But just a cute little helmet. You eat your ice cream out of it. You go, you get a little ice cream, you have a good time. It's a lot of fun. We had all the World Baseball Classic rally towels. You got the orange one here. I mean, check this stuff out. Houston. And then you got the... I thought they were going to do all the colors of the logo, but they only did orange and blue. I thought they were missing red and green, but we would have had all four. But that's the overview of the ballpark itself. It was a lot of fun. And we also had some time in Houston to do a couple other things. And I have to, switch hats for just a second here. Look at my hair. Look at it. It's long. I know. Got to put this hat on, folks. This is the hat I bought at Pinkerton's Barbecue in Houston, Texas. Oh, my gosh. I've never in my life had better barbecue. I've never had a better barbecue meal. I've never had better options. I'm posting the picture in this video, what I had. The Man Bear Pig at Pinkerton's. Oh my God. Between that, the sausage, the bacon mac and cheese, the peach cobbler, the Texas beans. Oh my God. It was... Met the owner of that facility down there. They were phenomenal. Everybody that worked at the counter there and set you up. We got to Pinkerton's. There was like a line out the door. We waited in it for like 15 before we even got inside. Then it's like a counter. You go across and it's like a la carte. You pick what you want. Oh my God. It was incredible. It's I believe it's even, rated as highly as you can be without having a Michelin star at that location or whatever, but they've got more than one location in Houston. The owner could not have been nicer. He showed us the smoking setup outside for the meat and on the facility there. And considering the location, the AC was moving great. So if you get hot, you got to go in there and get something to eat. This place will knock your socks off. I even said at one point during my meal, I said I wanted to call my mom and dad to thank them for giving birth to me so I could have this meal. I mean, look at this hat. I just had to. It's the candy paint sauce that they have there. Come and eat it. Pinkerton's Barbecue. I was blown away. And my friends had been to Dallas and had some of the Dallas barbecue options, and they swore by all those Texas options that people have had it in, whether it be Austin or Dallas or wherever else you go. I will put that up as the best barbecue meal I've ever had in my life. And I've grown up, in the Carolinas, and I've now had a chance to try some other places around the country. But Pinkerton's, I swear by it. I love it. If I could bring it home with me, I would have. And, I bet Charlie would have loved to try it. Come here, girl. Come here. You wish you had some barbecue too, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish you could have had the barbecue sausage. The sausage was so good. The sausage was so good. Everything about that meal was phenomenal. And I'm posting it so you can go check it out if you're ever in Houston. These are all just my recommendations, by the way. I ain't getting $1 from nobody. I ain't that smart. I didn't work a deal. But it was phenomenal. It was a lot of fun to go check out. And Team USA is still alive, baby. Still alive. Got a chance to keep going. And thanks to the Italians, they will play Canada this will drop it'll actually be tonight when this airs. So Team USA going, and I believe the announcement today, Joe Ryan back in the rotation. Clayton Kershaw is going to depart the roster, and Joe Ryan will be back in line to pitch a championship game if they get there. And I believe Paul Skeens is in line to still pitch one. Logan Webb, he might be going tomorrow night. I'm not positive how that works out. Or I guess tonight when you see this, but it's something that's got my attention, even in the midst of a topic we haven't really had a chance to cover yet, which is March Madness. And I am going the day I'm recording this, I'm going to the Thursday night session of the ACC tournament, which is the big deal here. If you're a Carolina kid, or if you were raised in the Carolinas like I was, the ACC tournament is the, premier sporting event in March and for much, if not the whole year. It's the thing you do. We rolled a TV into our classrooms as a kid to watch the ACC tournament. Tonight's night session, I get Duke and Florida State, and I get North Carolina and Clemson. Clemson beating Wake Forest last night. It's, it'll be interesting to see, and as those games will have already gone final by the time you see this. I mean, right now, Duke's a massive favorite over Florida State, and I think the Carolina-Clemson spread is only 1.5. There's some movers and shakers as we get closer to deciding all the final seeds here during championship week. Obviously, my beloved Winthrop Eagles, my college, unable to go and claim the Big South crown as High Point got them. Don't even want to talk about that. Not going to give that any more time. But I still do have my beloved Huskies, the UConn Huskies, I can watch for in the tournament. Though they decided to step on their own you-know-what and lose to Marquette just out of nowhere last week. So probably drop them out of consideration for, a 1 seed, unless they just run the table and dominate in the Big East tournament, which, still is a possibility. St. John's has an opportunity to go out there and now improve themselves if they can win the conference title back-to-back years through the tournament. It's just one of those deals that it can really change things up a lot. Regular season champion 2 years in a row for St. John's, despite UConn being as good as they've been. And that's the thing. I have written down here some of the things I want to talk about, but it's so hard right now for me to truly decipher the movers and the shakers versus the teams that are locked in. Now let's talk about a couple of the key stories. You got Miami, Ohio, dropping their first game. They're locked in, though. Should be, from all perspectives, locked in. There shouldn't be a bubble watch. There shouldn't be any of that worry. There should have never been a conversation, but because we live in a stupid time in sports, well, they didn't play nothing, buddy, Paul, or, all that nonsense. We have to sit there and review whether a team that didn't lose all year loses one game in a conference tournament is in or out. And it's a damn good team in Miami of Ohio. And we're debating whether the mid absolutely mess of a team that is Auburn post Bruce Pearl, do they deserve to be in over Miami of Ohio? Kiss my ass. Seriously, kiss my ass. The SEC is going to have its teams in, and they're just trying to drag more crap through the door just to get another team in the conference or in the big dance. Let's just keep watering that down. I'm fine with the way college championships work right now. We have the playoff in college football is fine. I don't want to change that anymore. We've got a path for the group of 5 in. That's all I need. The NCAA basketball tournament, there is nothing I want to touch about that. Nothing. Nothing. It's perfect. Perfection all the way through. Don't touch it. Don't even go near it. Don't even think about it. You know who you are. Don't even think about it. I'm serious. No adding teams, no subtracting. Keep it the exact same. The only thing I would hope for this year versus last year is I don't want as much chalk because I got tricked by it because I've been watching this tournament all my life. And when we go straight chalk on so many of those games last year, it made it so predictable that I thought there's no way this is going to be true. And I picked up sets that never even came close. But that's the way this is supposed to work. It trains your brain to think, well, that can't happen. Somebody's going to lose. A 5's going to beat a 12's going to beat a 5, or this or that or the other thing. And none of it did. It's the chalkiest tournament of my life was last year's team. And Florida won. And they had to beat the reigning champ to do it, so they deserved it. And Florida moved themselves back into the equation with probably getting a chance at a 1 seed. So that makes sense to me. Duke's in the equation as well. Michigan's probably the best team overall going into this. They proved that throughout the regular season. And then you have a lot of teams that I've mentioned already. You have UConn. You have Arizona. You've got, a couple, Houston that's in the mix as well. You've got a lot of options, but a lot of teams that are programs that are always kind of hanging around. Michigan State's another. But I don't know how far I trust a Michigan State, how far I trust a program, like that keeps getting close or has great regular seasons but doesn't do anything in the tournament. Or I go to a Houston that was so close but didn't pull it off. Sometimes Arizona is a key example of that. Constantly close, never a real threat to win it all. Just the way it is. And you can be mad about that assessment, but if it keeps happening to you, if you keep getting slapped in the face, eventually you start to become sensitized to it. So when you see a hand come up to your face like this, you turn. Arizona is that hand. I've been slapped in the face by him plenty of times, and I don't want to do that again. To get a bug out of the room here. I've got the windows open because it's actually a really nice day out, and I was just trying to swat a bug away, and I don't think that went as well as I thought it did. So, anywho, distractions are abound here in today's show. But to me, separating the real, I look at a team like Michigan, I look at a team like Duke, I look at a team like, again, championship pedigree coaching, and, the roster's still there for UConn. They're going to have to really go and put on a performance in this Big East tournament for me to re-buy in that they're, trust me, I want them to, but they have to prove something because they're looking more and more like last year's team the later we get into the season, which doesn't bode well for my confidence. Again, Houston's going to be in the mix as well. I do believe in what Coach Sampson's got down there in Houston as well. It's an open season. I love it. It's a great time of year. I'm going to have a better insight on next week's show when we talk about that. And we're going to preview the Major League Baseball season on next week's show. So this should be great. It'll be tournament week time. We'll be breaking down all the seeding and all the first couple of games. It'll be great. We're going to be bringing a lot of that content to you. I haven't had a chance, just the way this show has worked out, to do a lot of college basketball talk since we started. But now that we're in the thick of it, there's some really interesting teams coming down the road here. And like I said, going to get to watch some of the ACC's best in action tonight, get a better perspective on those teams as well. But in reality, the other big news story of the week, we also had NFL free agency deciding to go ham crazy on the new league year. You got Max Crosby getting traded to the Ravens. Then he wasn't traded to the Ravens because he failed a physical. So he's back as a Raider, even though he said he didn't want to be a Raider. You got to love that stuff. You got Alec Pierce signing for stupid money. You had guys like Mike Evans, who we've never seen play for anybody but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, going to put on a 49ers jersey? What? I don't know. It's very confusing. I can't visualize it right now. My Patriots did a couple of moves, getting Romeo Doubs, Kevin Byard at safety. There's a lot of money being thrown around. A lot of it's stupid. A lot of it makes sense. It's just interesting to see it all play itself out because you've got the draft coming up. Oh, and the Kansas City Chiefs, they threw my draft board out of whack. I had my big board, my number one big board right now. They were projected to take a running back. One can generally assume who that running back might have been. Jeremiah Love. But they decided to not wait on a guy like Jeremiah Love, and they went after and grabbed the Super Bowl champion Kenneth Walker from the Seahawks. They signed him as a free agent. I think it was a 3-year deal. And that's a really good get for a team like Kansas City, who needs a genuine run game. They need better balance in Kansas City, and they got it. Because Kenneth Walker down the stretch in the playoffs was great, played a great Super Bowl, was going to get paid, and he got paid. So did as advertised, as they say. And then there were some other bigger moves made around. I think the Carolina Panthers probably won free agency from the opening week there. They made some phenomenal moves, getting Jalen Phillips for the defensive line. They also added, I think, probably my favorite player in the entire free agent group, which was the linebacker from Jacksonville. Is it Devin Lloyd? Am I thinking of Devin Lloyd? Who am I thinking of? Yeah, it was Devin Lloyd. The Panthers actually won free agency as far as the opening slate goes. They go ahead and get Devin Lloyd, who was probably my favorite player in the entire group, available during the tampering period. They get him. They go ahead and add Jalen Phillips. You know, they really did add some pieces that I think are going to bolster it. And again, this is a team that did it right. They always overdo things. They panic because the fan base starts to throw a hissy fit. But with Bryce and everything last year, they played that perfectly. They got a playoff game. They took the Rams to the wire. They were a really good team down the stretch there. They beat the Rams earlier in the season. They couldn't beat them a second time at home. That happens. But they didn't overreact. They didn't decide, oh, we have to go get another quarterback. Bryce is too small. If you listen to the fan base, they'd tell you all that. They'd be wrong. You can still win games with a guy like Bryce Young. I don't know his ceiling, but I don't think blowing everything up for a quarterback right now is going to help you. So doing exactly what they went ahead and did with free agency has been something that's been really positive and really exciting, because I think they added some really good pieces. Like, where I would have addressed was defense. What do? They go ahead and get probably my favorite defensive player on the board, and, you know, they go from there and add not just one, but two guys back there that are really going to make a big difference on that defense. So help out the defense, help out the run game, help out the receiving core, give Bryce, options, and then continue to bolster that through the draft. And you can then reassess next season where you're at with Bryce. If Bryce ultimately keeps you from the promised land after you've made these moves and you built upon what you did and you go backwards, then yeah, let's have the conversation. Let's move on. Let's have a different idea. And then Tua Tagovailoa going to the Falcons. What on earth is going on in Atlanta? I can't for the life of me figure out what their plan is. They got Michael Penix. They somehow still have Kirk Cousins. Now they've got Tua. If they really wanted stability at quarterback, was Tua Tagovailoa really the smartest move you could go out and make? I mean, the game plan is get it to Bijan, but is Tua the guy to do that? Just hand the ball off, throw a check down to him? I mean, to me, they had the most talent in that division and squandered it last season. And I don't know that move makes a damn bit of difference to their prospects to 2026, 2027. But, we'll wait and see. That's the beauty of free agency. It happens in March, and then you're going to forget all about it, and you'll go through the draft and try to remember. You've still got a couple players that are on the trade block. You've got A.J. Brown, who's still floating out there as a guy that has to move. If Philadelphia doesn't move A.J. Brown, I don't know what they're doing. He's not helping them now because he's unhappy with the way everything's working out. And he wants out. They're not happy. Why are they still dragging this on? They know he's a good player. Now they're just haggling over price. I think the Patriots have been interested. That's been abundantly clear. I'm sure there are other teams, although I haven't heard a lot of other teams. That's the funny part about A.J. Brown. You hear the Patriots circled around A.J. Brown, but you don't hear a shit ton about other teams that are interested. And the asking price is probably the reason. If Philadelphia is looking for a one out of it, I don't think they're going to get it. They might. I just don't see that necessarily playing out. And then Kyler Murray signing with the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the funny part is we're in Houston talking about baseball all weekend, and Kyler Murray, drafted by the Athletics, still has that in his back pocket. He could go play in Las Vegas in the future if they ever get to Las Vegas. I'm not convinced. But part of me was like, you know what, dude? You gave it a run in the NFL. I mean, you could get your opportunity again to start or play for a backup spot, but you could also go play baseball. You made your money, and you could, if you made a major league roster, you could make more money in baseball than you could in football or basketball, really. Baseball, if you're raising a kid to play a sport, you want to raise him to play baseball. The money is there. The injuries are different. They're not as violent and career threatening most of the time. It's the way to raise a sport. It's a way to raise a kid to play a sport. That or soccer. If you can get your kid over to like Europe, I guess. I know somebody's doing that, and I wish them all the best. It's tough. But baseball, that's the way you want to push a kid. Money-wise, it's there. And you know what? Maybe Kyler should. I think it would be a really cool story if he did. He's not. But I do think if there's a coach in the league right now that could get the most out of a guy like Kyler Murray, it's Kevin O'Connell. That guy's proven to be really good at handling quarterback talent that's come through the doors. Now, jury's still out on a guy like J.J. McCarthy. Most people think he's done, he's ass, whatever. But Kyler has all the arm talent in the world. I don't think they ever truly figured out what to do with him in Arizona, and that's part of their problem. But you can't tell me there's a throw he can't make. He can make them all. He's small. And I hate when people bring up size as the leading reason why a quarterback doesn't work. That's not it. You can work around size. And I love when people say, you can't even see over the offensive line. Well, guess what, dipshit? When you roll them out to the right, guess where there is no offensive line? Play action bootlegs, all these different options. You can slide protections. You can do a lot of things to make up for the fact that you have a short quarterback. Your coaching staff refused to do it, or they neglected to do it. That doesn't mean that the quarterback, just because he can't see over an offensive lineman who's 6'10", guess what? A quarterback who's 6'4" isn't seeing over an offensive lineman at 6'10". They move around. They look down. They can see. That doesn't mean he's looking over top of his head like it's an elephant in front of him. Jesus Christ. I hate that argument. Drew Brees, Hall of Famer. Short. I mean, God, guys, let's get over ourselves. All the armchair detectives and all the armchair scouts saying the guy's arms are too short. Like with the Ruben Bain thing with, the shortest arms we've ever recorded on record for a defensive lineman that's projected to be a first rounder. It's just, it's ridiculous. And I actually have a colleague sending me his draft board right now as we speak. He's got his post-free agency draft board, which I have to re-up and do because the big draft show extravaganza, a little over a month away. I'm looking forward to that. Going to be a lot of fun. We're bringing it back. We're going to bring some new people in. We're going to have more than just me talking for 3 hours. That's great. It'll be good on my voice. I mean, that show will gas you out talking for that long, but it's great. We're going to have a big to-do. We're going to do it live on YouTube, live on Facebook, I guess. Instagram sucks, so they won't let us do it live because we don't have enough followers. Follow the page. Please follow us on all our pages so we can get all these features that they put behind viewership and subscriber walls. That's such bullshit. Follow the Instagram page at Moonlight Media Works. Same with Facebook, Moonlight Media Works. We're on Twitter as well. We don't really use that page much right now, but we will at some point. And then we're on TikTok, where I'm on TikTok at CollinsJ9898. You can check me out, and I'm posting clips from the show, our interviews, things that I see out in the world, and, bring it all to the show. It's all coming in. And like I said, TikTok's been great. It's been a lot of fun. By the way, I forgot to show off, I have one other prop I didn't bring. You never knew you were going to get this many prop performances out of me as I knock the camera out of the way. Looky here. It's my good friend Alex Bregman. I got to meet Alex and get him to sign my Red Sox jersey at a Lids in Houston. He was doing a signing there during the WBC weekend, and I was heartbroken when the Red Sox did not re-sign Alex Bregman. And I didn't get a chance to tell him that, but I said I would have given you the no-trade clause. I would have given you whatever to stay. He was such a big part of helping the Red Sox grow some of the young talent on the roster, like Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony. Some of those guys have really been, under his wing, so to speak, and it was great to see. And he was a great player when he was on the field with the Red Sox last year. And it's been fun to watch him in the WBC with all the other guys like Bryce Harper and all my other favorite players that never played in Boston. Now he's in Chicago, and I'm like, damn. But I go to the signing, and it was at like the Houston Galleria Mall or whatever in a Lids. And I find this jersey just in the old rack there. And I'm like, well, I got to get this signed if I can. Bring it with me on Sunday. And there's this guy in line. He's like, yeah, I was looking for Red Sox stuff, man. And they said he won't sign any Red Sox merch. And I'm like, why would he not sign Red Sox merch? There's about 1,000 Astros fans here trying to get him to sign Astros stuff. Nobody has his Cubs shit yet because they haven't made it yet. And I'm sitting here going, if I really can't get him to sign this, that's such a crock. But that guy was wrong. The lady inside the store was misinformed. Alex Bregman signed my Red Sox jersey. And look, Alex, from one Red Sox fan representing a lot of Red Sox fans, we loved you. We hate that you're not coming back, that we couldn't make it work. Go be great in Chicago. They're going to love you. It's awesome. But I'm going to put that one up on the wall. That's going to be one of my favorite signed pieces I've ever got because, the Red Sox jersey is just iconic. And then Alex Bregman's such a great player. He was a great player before he was in Boston. Even as somebody who was a diehard Red Sox fan, I looked at Alex Bregman and I'm like, damn, that guy's good. There are a lot of guys like that. And that's the thing that's probably made that weekend so much fun. I know I keep talking about other topics and coming back to it, but that was really a big highlight for me and a lot of my friends was to be able to go to that and get to see all these players. Because if you're a true baseball fan like myself, you get, opportunities to see these guys on TV, or if they come to a city, you can go watch. The closest baseball team to us is Atlanta. So I got to go to Atlanta to watch a team play if I want to see like Bryce Harper in the Phillies, or I want to see Nolan Arenado with the Diamondbacks, or, watch the Red Sox play once or twice a year. I got to go to Atlanta. So to see all of them in one place was so much fun. And before we wrap up the show this week, I do want to touch on one other topic that I've kind of been thinking about, but I hadn't brought up yet, which is what was I going to bring up? And before we wrap up the show today, I do have one other thing that's on my things to watch, or more specifically, this week's edition of What's Got My Attention This Week. And it is, in fact, in a crowded sports calendar, it is the return of the Interstate Batteries High Limit Sprint Car Series. Big fan of the Kyle Larson and Brad Sweet Sprint Car Series. I've been a fan since they first brought it around, and I've been a subscriber to Flow Racing to watch it. If you haven't checked it out, you got to get a trial or get something to watch it because it's a great crowd. It's a great field for a sprint car series. They've got guys like Kerry Madsen, some of the older legends like that. You've got some of the younger stars like Gio Scelzi. You've got stalwarts, champions like Rico Abreu. You've got Tyler Courtney. These are a lot of great sprint car guys, and there's a lot of NASCAR guys because this weekend's race coincides with the NASCAR race in Las Vegas, and it's at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway facility. So they have a dirt track, they have a drag strip, I believe, and they have the cup track, just like here in Charlotte. So Kyle Larson will be there competing as well. Corey Day is in the race. Ty Gibbs from the Xfinity from the 54 car, and Joe Gibbs Racing will be out there as well. So a lot of great NASCAR sprint car crossover. If you're a guy like me that loves both sides, getting to see them interact together, coincide with a NASCAR event, it's awesome. It's a lot of fun. Rico Abreu, reigning champion of High Limit Sprint Car Series, partnering up with the boss man back there, Tony Stewart, to drive for him this year. Try to go back to back as High Limit Sprint Car champion. Interstate Batteries, the new corporate sponsor, hooking on with the series. It's a lot of fun. And I love the World of Outlaws and what they still provide, but getting my dollar for streaming is a hard thing. And what Flow Racing gives you overall is great. Between Lucas Oil late models, the High Limit Sprint Car Series, you've got modifieds, you've got all sorts of, asphalt content as well. Flow Racing's got a great package, and it's something I enjoy watching. And there are a lot of guys, if you're looking for weekly sprint car content, there's guys like Dirt Tracker Daily, that I watch religiously for sprint car and late model news, and throwing them a shout out. I'll even tag the page below. I'm a big fan of what they do each and every week down there, and I'm always checking it for updates. I can't always give you those. We did the Sprint Car Scene podcast. That's a lot of work to do that show for a year like we did. And we'll probably periodically throughout the year give you updates on all those, as well as NASCAR, IndyCar, some of the other racing series we follow. I'm probably never going to touch on F1 on here, so if you're looking for it, go find one of the other 800,000 YouTube people that make content about F1. But I'll cover the stuff that I do love when it's appropriate to do so, when we can update it here and there. But that's just, something that's got my attention because they're back for another season. The momentum has been building. The field is so strong this year. Guys deep like Cy Lynch, that guys that you may not have heard on a national level getting a chance to do it. Guys like from Pennsylvania getting opportunities like that. So it's a great field. Aaron Reitzel's back as well, kind of playing the unpopular kind of villain character that everybody wants to root against. He's so good, but he's had his, ruffle some feathers along the way. If you love racing, you want a compelling series to watch with a lot of great characters and really high-class racing, then watching High Limit Sprint Car Series is the way to go. And you can do that by subscribing to Flow or, bootleg it. I don't know. That's going to go over real well. Figure out how to get a VPN, or I don't know how. I don't even think any of that works anymore. But check it out if you can. Go out to a race. Go out to a game. Go out to something. Do something. The time is changing. We're done with daylight savings time. The sun's out. The weather's changing. Although the weather can't make up its mind here in the Carolinas, it's very confusing. But sports calendar right now, the month of March, is incredible. We've got some other topics we didn't cover this week. We got like Meta AI glasses going crazy now. That's a big to-do. People's privacy is being breached. That's a topic we're going to need a little more time to dig into than we could do on this week's show. And it is kind of a shortened show this week because, to be honest with you, I can get back till Monday. So my focus was on my vacation. I only get so many weekends off a year. So the fact I was able to do that, go down, hang out with the fine folks in Houston, and watch the WBC. Tune in, WBC coverage going on throughout the weekend as well. You got the Friday matchup between Canada and USA. I'll be watching, and you should too. What you should be watching, though, before you do that, and those that already are, we thank you so much tuning in each and every week to the Collins Janus Show. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, however you get your podcast, you can download it there. If you get it on Spotify, you can watch the video along with the audio, or if you just want to go to YouTube, you can check us out there. However you digest the show, we thank you so very much. It helps us be able to bring you better content. It helps us open ourselves up to doing more things that we can do. We've got people that want to be a part of this. We appreciate everybody's help. And like I said, you're following, you're, coming back each and every week, keeping up with it. It makes me feel better about doing this stuff. It's all a work in progress. It's going to get better. Sometimes it's not going to be great. Sometimes it'll be even better. Who knows? It's very hard to tell. But for now, thank you again for tuning in to another edition of the Collins Janus Show, a Moonlight Media Works production. The preceding episode was a production of Moonlight Media Works.